Hey everybody, Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Gauntlet Descendant deck profile. This deck is quite fun to play, and it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good against Gauntlet Descendant decks, because it has that, those criticals to help the deck. Anyway, let's start with the deck profile. So for the starting Vanguard, I run Ambush Dragon Lincho, simply because he's pretty good. But, often people don't know where to put this. They tend to put it in the rear guard, boosting the rear guards, and I don't really agree with this, but, sometimes you can, sometimes you don't have to. Doesn't really matter, but most of the time I put it behind the Vanguard because I like to pop things early on in the game and get rid of nuisances and annoying starting Vanguards or annoying boosters. Anyway, if you guys are wondering why I'm talking like this, it's because I'm sick and caught the flu yesterday and yeah. Anyway. I'm still kind of sick, though. But anyway, let's continue on with the deck profile. So for grade 3s, I run 3 Gauntlet Busters, 1 SP, of course. Yeah, I run 3 because I personally think 3 is enough for a. If you guys have been looking at my decks, I only run 3 of most of the. After you break ride units, because they're not very good after you break ride into them. Although if you do run the 11k boosters, they are okay, but I prefer to run things with shields. So yeah. Next I run Vanguard Dragon, quite the obvious choice, because after you break ride, if you ride Gauntlet Buster Dragon, he does get that extra crit. So basically you activated his effect for free. So, it's pretty important that you do it. So you can pressure your opponent at 3 damage, which is like one of the main things you do with the deck. It's kind of a more powerful version of Gem Knight, although it's less consistent. So, there's its ups and downs. Yeah, because Gem Knights, they tend to have quite weak rows, while Narukami, they have quite powerful rows, but the Vanguard effects are less consistent, or the Gauntlet Buster's effect is less consistent. Alright, for grade 2s, I run 2 Flying Fossil Dragon, I think his name is. Mainly because you want to use his effect, so you can get Gauntlet Buster's effect for quite cheap. The downside to his effect is that he is only an 8k, and your opponent does draw a card afterwards. So you really only want to use this if you want to get Gauntlet Buster's effect off, because otherwise you'll be wasting a counterblast, because your opponent does get that hand back, or that card back. And next I run 2 10k attackers. Quite obvious, because I like 10k attackers. It's a personal preference. I think they're really good to ride into early game, or in turn 2. Make yourself a little more beefy, and a guard against those 9k attacks without boosters, or prevent your opponent from attacking you with their 9k attackers. Anyway, next I run 4 Zoitans. Helps you unflip damage, and this deck is quite counterblast heavy, because Gauntlet Buster is quite a counterblast heavy card, and you do need Descendant names. So you can help unflip those Descendant names, although every card in this deck is Descendant names, so it doesn't really matter. But and it does help you soul charge, and I do run the 11k booster in this deck. So yeah. Next I run 4 Spark Rain Dragon. Yeah, Spark Rain Dragon, so I run Spark Rain Dragon. For the grade 1s, let's move this up. Okay, yep, Spark Rain. For the grade 1s, I run the 11k booster for Gauntlet Buster. They were 8k boosters before, but you know, since I'm running Void Sword 10s anyway, it doesn't really matter. And don't really want to damage check those Red River Dragons in this deck particularly, because everything pretty much requires a Descendant name to activate the effect, unlike Dragonite Descendant, where if you damage check a damage check a Red River Dragoon, it's okay because you can counterblast him for the discard skill, because I believe it does not require a Eradicator name, while his Counterblast 2 skill does require, so it doesn't really matter if you have one in your damage zone. Next I run 4 of the Demolition Dragon, I think his name is. He's a 10k attacker. Not much to say. Next I run the 10k booster. Yeah, run 10k booster, I like it. I like it at 3. I like 10k boosters at 3 because you can draw into them more consistently. Yeah. So next I run 4 Perfect Guards. Perfect Guards. So I run Perfect Guards. And next I run 8 crits, 8 criticals. 4 draws and 4 heals. So it's a pretty standard lineup, 8-4-4. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this lineup. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck. There's really not much else to say about it. I'm probably gonna make a video about break rides and my opinions on break rides in my next video, because a lot of people have been debating whether break rides are good or break rides are bad, whether break rides slow your deck down or they accelerate it, whether they give you more advantage or they give you less advantage. But I think the answer is obvious. But you know, a lot of people still debate about this. So yeah, this is Kaotaku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.